guys. Good morning, YouTube. Gonna head down for a rare Sunday appearance today. I was supposed to go fishing, but it's supposed to rain all day today, so that's not happening. We're gonna go work on the Trans Am some more, finish up I think all of the interior wiring. I'm gonna wire up the amp in the back, get that stuff ready to go. But first, as usual, we're going to Dunkin' Donuts. All right, we're here. Yeah, lights. There she is. Okay, they got the nose on it. Still got to wire up the trinary switch for the AC system behind that. But let's see. Let's take a look and see where we're at. I'm gonna trim black all that stuff to make it look nice. But we have, what's this breather over here? Oh, to that. You don't need to do that. That's fine. Let's see. Ooh, we have a carpet. Carpet's in, cluster's in. All right, so I've got to finish wire today my speedo sensor. Finish wire the vintage air. So we figured out what was wrong with that. During the week, they actually called. Ooh, the column's in too. That looks good with that steering wheel. They called vintage air. And turns out right out of the box there was some wires that were not hooked up correctly on the unit itself on Vintage Air's assembly side. So that is all working now. So I'm gonna finish wire that in. So this trinary switch that's got to go over here, it's going to go in where I don't know if we can see it, probably not, but where the regular AC pressure switch is. And it's basically just a trigger switch, works off of pressure, turns on the compressor and turns it off at a certain pressure, and same with the cooling fans, turns it on and off at a certain pressure. I don't know if he got that in yet. I'll have to look and see and search around a little bit, but we're gonna open up the inside, pop the cluster back out, and start finish wiring the dashboard. Before we get into that though, looks like the two-wheel drive 69 F100 it's getting broke down to have everything sent out to powder coat. Let's see how the 70C10's doing. All right, the tailgate's off and he's doing his final smoothing and body work on it. So this has a raised bed in it so we could drop it down to the ground on this Roadster Shop slam spec chassis. This is all going to be wood with metal trim in the middle, you know, classic style. Oh, we're gonna have a nice nice DIN radio in it. Oh, this engine, so pretty. So we're running this on a stock E67 GM computer. The mods on this engine are unknown, and we haven't powered it up yet, the PCM, so I can pull the tune and see what it is. I can tell you, obviously, it's got a 255 pulley. It's got a solid isolator in it. I have not gotten down into the injectors yet to grab the part numbers off to see if they're the factory injectors, but I'm guessing it's a stock lower pulley, stock idlers. You're kind of tapped on these in factory form. When you add a 2.5 pulley, you're close to 80% injector duty cycle on a factory engine, dead stock. So when you add a pulley, you usually also, with flex fuel, absolutely have to add injectors. With 93, you're running on the ragged edge with a 2.5 pulley on stock injectors, but obviously it's got a catch can on it already too. And what they told us, so this whole drivetrain came out of a ZL1 Camaro, also had full-length headers on it as well. And if it had that and it's got a pulley, safe to say it had a cold air intake as well. All that stuff needs to be tuned. But as soon as I pull the tune, as soon as we get this to the point where I can get it wired up and get the ECM powered, I can just look at the injector scaling real quick and tell whether or not they're the factory injectors or not. But this is coming out good. Every day, a little bit closer and closer. Oh, also didn't notice that the upper and lower radiator hoses are on now. During the week, I went and got the adapters to mount the temp sensor under there. Let's see, these are clamped. So this one and these two still need to be clamped for the AC hoses. And the reservoirs are in. Coolant over there, washer fluid over there. All right, let me grab some screwdrivers and start taking the dash apart. Okay, cluster is pulled back out. So what we have to do is my directionals. If you remember last time where we left off, I've got to go to these two wires over there for my left and right directional signals. And this eyelet is going to get grounded down there on my ground there. Then, to get all the lights working. So this is the American Auto Wire harness side. Everything's labeled and everything all good. This is your factory side. I have to depin this. They give you a new connector to go with their harness, and the wiring on that is one wire off on the wires over here, so that's why you have to repin that. And then we should have working lights all the way around. Let me key it on here. If you're here, we have fans now. You switch it to cold, the AC comes on. You know, switches between dash and vent and whatnot. So that is all good. Radio, I have to ground the one ground wire for the radio, and then we can start doing actual speaker wiring on that. All right, we got some wiring done here. A couple of grounds I had to finish hooking up. Of course, we got our power on, you've seen that. We've got our lights, you've seen that. Well, that I gotta figure out why that's turning on right there. But we have our directionals. And then I also got my tack signal set up, so that'll start reading. Let's see if we can get some kind of focus in here. Maybe not, probably not. But it takes a second for the trigger to catch up, but there we go. Cranks at 300 RPM, so that's correct. But that's interesting. I need to figure that out. I think they might have the wire incorrect up front on the directional, so it's back feeding that blinker. We're gonna take a look at that real quick. Okay, we got that figured out. Ready? Lights are on. Telltale's still out. Then I ran into an issue that when the directionals were on, these would flash, the side markers, but the front markers would not. It turns out it's the LED bulb, because everything's been converted to LED. These got some little 194 SMDs in it. Those have a tower, which I'm going to tell him to get a different brand. It was either grounding out or did not have the correct resistance for the flashback function here. But that's a regular incandescent bulb in there right now, which is giving it the proper load and everything is working. And yes, I do have LED flashers installed in this as well. So we're going to get some new ones for those. Possibly the rears too. He has the same bulbs in the rear. They don't seem to be giving a problem. But I think the other ones I usually use, this looks way brighter through the GoPro than it does in person. But I think the other ones I use, I like superbrightled.com. If you haven't seen them or you haven't used them, they're amazing. Let me pause some music over here. So superbrightled.com. Amazing. Not a plug. I just really like their stuff. I use them in all my vehicles. They have a great vehicle lookup. You can punch in your year. It goes back way far. I think we even got back to the 57 Chevy for these things. And tells you all your locations. And then also gives you, if you need flashers or load resistors and all that kind of good stuff. It's a really good site. So it's, as I thought, regular 194s for the side markers. These are for the front turn signals that we have to replace. and they are fully tested and they know that all their stuff works. So they give you multiple different bulbs that you can use. Usually the main pick is the best one. So I have these in the Ranger and the Avalanche for my backup lights, because my windows are tinted and the backup lights leave a lot to be desired. I don't have these exact bulbs, but I have bulbs from them, and they are as close as you can get to. People are doing HID reverse lights. I don't want to really do that, but these LEDs, they are bright. And the Avalanche is dark. Those windows are, we'll say, a little bit on the not legal side, but almost all their bulbs come with a lifetime warranty too. So looks like they also got the amp mounted down in here. It depends, I might make a flat panel here and mount the amp up on the side, and that way we can hide all the wires and stuff behind it. Like I said, this isn't a show car, but I do want to make it nice, nicer than usual. But let's actually, let me see. So I got the directionals hooked up, also got the hazards wired in, so we are good lighting wise. We still have to put in a reverse switch as well on this standard transmission. That's easy wiring. Switch goes in, wires go back, bulbs get grounded back here, and switch on the transmission gets hooked up to accessory only power. So, which reminds me, now it's time that I've got this stuff taken care of. That threw me for a quick loop. Now we're going to finish wiring up the lighting and the ignition power for the Vintage Air. Okay, so after taking some time to figure out that bulb issue, we're powered now. Oh, let me turn the directionals off. So ignition powered there, which we should be. Also wired it in for the lighting, which is great. I have run my reverse wire also to my 12-volt switched ignition down with the speedometer wiring, which I'm going to cut that next and terminate that in there. All this wiring I just tied up for now to get it out of my way. I also have to look at this. This goes out the door right now, but that's to the power windows, and they said that every time they use the power windows, it was blowing the fuse on them. So I have to check all that wiring, make sure that's good. And I think I have a couple more things to tighten up back here, figure out the wiring real quick. Also, for the reverse lights, that's my power down to the switch. I have to run power back up, and then I'm going to tap into the factory harness, so I don't need to run a wire all the way to the back of the car. But after I get that done, then we can get this cluster in, I think, for the last time. So we got our brake and turn signal. The inner one is the reverse light. So it goes all to this body harness. I'm going to find the pinouts for this connector in this schematic and see how far up they run, because they should run all the way up here. And we're going to tee in off of that. Okay, dash harness. There's my rear body connection. I know where that is up under the dash. The page that has this seems to have disappeared. So I'm just going to get under there and pin it out until I find the reverse lights. Although it's probably labeled as well, so I'm just going to look first. And there we go. Conveniently, it was the first wire I tried, and also the only wire that was not labeled on that rear body harness. Weird. So that's where I'm tapping into. So now I'm going to run a wire and tap into that thing, and then wire directly into my reverse switch, and then check it mechanically. Even more convenient, stupid me wasn't thinking, you know, there's already going to be a pre-terminated connector for a backup switch. There it is right there. There it is right there. So I am just going to tap into that green right there. Whoa! Yeah, almost definitely fell. So they're all wired. I'm gonna go throw it in reverse, and we'll see if they work. And we're good. Also cut myself, but we're good. All right, power window stuff. I got to jump straight to battery here. We're going to see what happens. Oh, wrong window. All right, so we work. This one I've already got up, but I did find this. All right, up, down. Get stuck. You know what it's stuck on? Cable. For that, because these are the old school cable adjustable. So that door panel, they will have to take back apart during the week and straighten that out. Till then, I'm going to put the windows up. And now I just have to wire this in under the dash, and we're going to put this in on a 30 or 40 amp circuit breaker, because really shouldn't be on a fuse for these old school 700-pound windows. So I'm not sure why they were trying to wire them to a fuse, because American Auto Wire gives you a added accessory kit for power windows, and this is everything I've got in there right now. So from this box, I have to dig out this relay, and then they actually give you a connector that plugs into a main power accessory feed that comes off of your fuse block, and they give you a circuit breaker to replace that 30 amp fuse. So we're going to do that. Oh, my hands are filthy. And here we are, 500/479 relay kit, 500/479 relay kit, and the circuit breaker. Well, I'm glad I didn't go fishing today, because it's been raining on and off all day. But we have lights. We also have the radio in. Just the only speakers in the whole car right now are the rear deck speakers, so those are in. They're hack wired in. Don't look at it. This is just because we ran out of speaker wire, and I wanted to make sure all my low input channels and everything were all right. Still have to wire in the remote trunk pop. That's not a big deal. That's easy. The guy came by, looked at the guy who does the exhaust, came by and looked at it. Is going to be pulling his hair out doing it, but he'll get it done, because where the 4-link is in the rear end and the panhard bar and coilovers, it's pretty tight. Interior's all in for the most part. Center console's in now. Windows are in, or window switch and wiring. We're all good here. As I told you before, this one, if you look, it gets down to a certain point and oh, she moves. Okay, so he knows he's got to take this door panel off during the week and fix that. My high beam indicator, that's good. This is all in, wired, everything's done on it. Radio, like I said, is in. The horn works. It's just the steering wheel isn't tight yet, because we weren't sure if we're going to have to take this off, and they'll do that during the week. But that's in there. That's good. Brake switch still has to be installed. It doesn't have to be wired, just has to be installed and have it plugged in. I'm trying to think of what else. I mean, we're getting there pretty good. The dome light's not working, and so he'll figure that out during the week. I mean, it's a simple one-wire grounded system. Uh-oh, it's an emergency somewhere. Let's see what else. Oh, the 69 GMC came back. So this just got painted. This is a 69 GMC on the original frame. Suspension has been done up with bushings and whatnot. You know, everything you should replace when you do them. Drop springs, drop shocks. We've got this is the gray engine I built a while ago. You could probably see pictures of it still in my community section. But this is a Gen 3 5.3. It has a BTR truck Norris cam, CHE trunnions, headers. This is going to be, so this is a 5.3 4L60 combo. It's going to all be controlled by a Holly Max, or a Terminator Max. This is supposedly going to be ready to go to Barrett Jackson, New Orleans as well, with the C10. Well, this is the seat for it. So this is the seat for the GMC. Not too shabby. Nice looking seat. But this is going to be the next project we get on as soon as that project gets finished up. Literally, they just dropped it off while I was doing other stuff. So we're going to be slowly piecing this one together as well. This is a low buck build, and it's probably going to net 40-50 grand. at the auction, but we're not putting a ton of money into this one because there is a ton of money into that one over there, and there was a ton of money into the 69 F100, but the 69 F100 brought in a ton of money. So I'm going to clean up, take care of all my tools, put everything away, put them all in my truck that's out there, and then I'm going home because it's day 7 of working and I'm tired and I want some Taco Bell because I like Taco Bell. And then what am I doing next weekend? Oh, next weekend we're helping a Ferrari customer actually put an engine in his Land Rover. Not sure if I'm going to film that, but we'll be back getting this done. I mean, this thing is so close to running. I mean, it already starts and fires up. Once the exhaust is on it, really, and we can put an O2 sensor in it, we're ready to let it run in and just warm up and bleed all the fluids out. They actually got the power steering lines all done during the week as well, but it's almost time. It's almost time to go do my best impression of Smokey and the Bandit. So, that's that. I'm going home. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I got dogs that are also hungry. I'm not tired though because I've been sleeping all day and they're going to drive me insane. So, see you guys next time.